Look at who?
What can cross her over? Celebrity relationship.
She need a big
Yeah,
fight. She need a big
do
fight.
some wild
Danielle, do
stuff.
you got
They
any
told she do something
headphones?
wild over there in the UK.
Wild. What'd you say, Ness?
No, I got Danielle on. I was just asking, does she got any headphones?
No, I'm in my car.
All right, perfect. At least everything is working. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good
We're
morning
good.
to
We're
you.
good. We were obviously discussing
Top of the
female
morning.
boxing in another division today. Some big news that our good friend Brian Norman Jr. is going to be fighting on the undercard of Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer. Obviously,
Oh, nice.
you have your own big fight set up, but Ness is straight to the jugular. So, was that fake, Danielle? That look like the way you grabbed the belt. Look, it ain't really You didn't give me like, yeah, I'm about to yank these. You just gave me like, let me give them what they need for the cameras. Was that real, or did you like want to do it and then change your mind kind of mid, and that's why it was not a full blown. Because you look big as hell. We all was expecting you to take her shoulders off with the yank, and you didn't really do that.
I mean, look, we gotta sell tickets. That's just what it boils down to.
Mm.
That gotta happen.
Nah, for sure. And I ain't knocking it because if you wouldn't have done something, we would have said it was boring. But again, I'm for the jugular here. What did you think about that press conference? It was in a gym. I felt like off the back of her movie, why wasn't China in a theater giving away free tickets? Why we wasn't in a gymnasium in a school? Like, why are we in a gym for a press conference for Undisputed? Did you feel like they not doing right by you?
Well, I mean, I feel like the movie's not the focus of this fight. You know what I mean? It's a fight between two female contenders. So like, a movie's not is not the promotion's focus at all. They don't get nothing off of that.
No, for sure. But I mean, riding off the back of that, right? Her name is all over the place because of the release of the movie. I just felt like you needed a stage or something. And that's my ultimate question is: did you mind where the press conference took place? If you didn't, you didn't.
No, nah. I mean, the place where I mean, actually, I mean, they really didn't give much backdrop to the gym that we were at, but that gym does a lot for the community of Detroit. They do a lot for like the youth, um, and I think they make like they're doing a lot of education programs for that. So like on the prospects of like future boxers, future female fighters coming out of Detroit, that gym is going to produce those prospects. So like they didn't really give much background to where we were, but the program is actually pretty dope, and what it's trying to do for the community is really big.
And
Hey,
I
champ, let me jump in right here. My name is King Amin of Essex. I am the resident authority on women's boxing. Salute to you. And I want to ask, because I think what Nestor is alluding to a bit is visibility. Trying to get you guys a bigger, not just stage like physically, but more visibility. And one of my public criticisms has been, was it specifically the holdup and the stall delays with the Hannah Gabriel's fight that kind of prevented you from getting more visibility before this fight?
Oh, absolutely. Like that, the prospect for like we had like five different contracts or opportunities just kind of break up over the course of a couple of years. So it's like you're getting ready for camp. You think you have a fight coming up, so you don't schedule anything else. Like being the mandatory for the WBC, everybody knows that nothing could happen. And, and talking to Sean Porter, he was like, "Don't wait on mandatory. Just go ahead and take fights. Like, stop waiting on this." So yeah, that
Yeah,
was pretty much that.
I think that's where a lot of people where they think sometimes they don't appreciate or respect how a fighter gets in a position for this fight, and just in my in my heart as a passionate fan, I would have loved to see if not the Hannah Gabriel's fight. I'm not really sure who's campaigning at heavyweight, but I would have loved to see you a bit more on some of those cards, the big time boxing in Detroit, so we can get a better feel and a better view of who you are as a fighter. Nonetheless, we do know that you have a lot of great amateur credentials. So I'm definitely excited about the fighting on a Sunday, February 2nd, right?
Absolutely. After the Benavidez fights on the 1st, and we fight on the 2nd.
Champ, so they have you listed as 6 feet. And that was kind of like what I seen in most comment sections, like, wow, she's big, she's big. Do you feel that much bigger than Clarissa? And does that actually translate to an advantage?
Oh, it's a huge advantage in like several components. One's like ring presence, strength, power, like reach, arms long as hell. So it's a great opportunity for me actually to fight an undersized heavyweight for the unified championship. Like, yeah, all that stuff translates.
Other than weight classes, what would you say makes you different from a Savannah Marshall, who is the other, biggest opponent she might have faced outside of yourself and Franchon Cruz?
Well, I'm a southpaw, and like Savannah Marshall is very flat-footed, not really agile. She also doesn't um, utilize body shots at all. But I mean, everybody has their strengths, but I think mine is just like a lot of variety. And I do agree that having more fights and having more visibility would definitely make this fight for the casual fans more valid. But we are where we are, and like I got some tools. Some of them I had to use, and some not necessarily yet. But I'm looking forward to digging into my toolbox on the 2nd.
Champ, what is your mindset going into this fight? Because Clarissa, she's crossed over. She's a shade room, Hollywood unlocked darling. How can you weather that first round storm? Because Clarissa's mindset, I always thought her advantage over other women boxers was her mindset. Are you ready to like upset the apple cart and like weather that first round storm and make her respect you out the gate?
Well, absolutely. I even told her. I said I'm so looking forward to this first round. I'm interested in seeing like what her plan of attack or counterattack. Actually, I'm very interested in the first round. I mean, it'll set the tone for the fight. So you got to cross that bridge. So you cross the bridge, you got to pay the toll. So I'm ready.
Can we get Remy Ma to walk you out?
Ah!
You crazy.
The thing is, can you? You know what I mean? I don't want to pay
Oh, okay.
first, so I'm cool.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm gonna start the campaign.
Yeah, but we need a GoFundMe campaign. She said she don't want to pay for it. So
You know what I mean? I don't
Remy
want to
gonna have
pay
to do
for it.
that. Remy gonna have to do that off the strength.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Champ, who have you been sparring with, if you can share, to help get you ready? Because a lot of people, even though the size difference, the advantage is probably going to be in the power, but Shields is the kind of fighter, she's going to, try to throw the combinations and get in and out. You're the southpaw, right? So we already know you're going to probably have to be a little bit more offensive and definitely cut the ring off on her. I don't know if she's going to try to fight you like she did with Marshall. I doubt it. Go toe to toe in combinations and get out of there. So without giving away too much, who have you sparred with, if you could name anybody, to kind of prepare you for that kind of style?
Well, I mean, I can't necessarily name who, but I can give you the styles are very similar. You know what I mean? Like I've worked with two different fighters that will simulate exactly the best version of Clarissa who has a chin. So um, male fighters only, because I have to also be able to have somebody in the ring that's going to push me, but also someone who could take a punch. So a lot of combinations, a lot of footwork, a lot of definitely like working on my ring presence for sure, and like being able to be able to handle the storm in one way or another.
I think too with her moving up in weight, not that she slowed down a lot, but she in trying to have intentions of landing power herself. Coming off the Lepage win, she may feel confident and going toe to toe. So I think it's going to be an interesting styles clash. I don't remember the last southpaw she fought, like other than Femke Hermans, and that was ages ago. But I'm definitely one of the biggest supporters of women's boxing. So I think that for this particular fight, not that people need to see an upset or to root against, but sometimes you need a new presence. You need somebody to arrive and kind of shake up the scene. So I think a lot of people may be rooting for you, and this could bring some new eyes to the sport. Plus it's on a Sunday coming off of a big weekend, so I'm hoping you guys get the opportunity to shine bright.
Femke's not a southpaw, but I did
She
check and
fought southpaw that fight.
I did check and she did fight Sydney LeBlanc, and that was in 2017. That was the first southpaw, and the second southpaw actually is Marie Eve Ducati. I wanted to ask, is she like Shakur and ever brought you in the spar? Because Shakur, he tests out the potential opponents. He likes to spar everybody, and kind of Clarissa too. From what I see, she sparred a lot of the people she's fought before she's fought them. So have you guys shared the ring?
Never happened.
And she's never tried to get you? Because at one point you even had the same manager, right?
Yeah, same manager, same promoter. I was supposed to come in for the Savannah Marshall fight to come into camp. It just never happened.
But they reached out.
Yeah, they reached out. First Coach K, he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, um, Savannah Marshall's a power puncher. They need you to come into camp." And then Mark and Clarissa hit me up, but it's just like timing. Like I just didn't have the time to do it, so I didn't.
Man, really?
Yeah.
What was going on? Now I gotta be nosy because I feel like why wouldn't you, move things around? That's the quote, right? Like see where you're at. Or I mean, obviously you know where you're at, but still, when you're in the ring with someone on the elite level, you really get a gauge for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would like this is a tough spot, but um
If it's
I
too
honestly
personal, it's
felt like
understandable. I'm sorry.
no, it's not too personal. I just felt like uh they were really nervous about Savannah Marshall, and I literally it was like I don't feel like you need me for this camp because I don't think like Savannah Marshall can handle Clarissa. So like the idea of her being able to take a punch from someone in her weight class, I think she can do that. Like that was the biggest fear because Savannah Marshall didn't have, and she still doesn't have any cardio. She just doesn't do cardio. She tries to end people before the sixth round. And I was like, if she could just withstand Savannah for 6 rounds, she wins that fight. And lo and behold.
You still got time, champ. I
Champ.
got a couple of questions from the people, but go ahead, Tom.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, champ, in the Clarissa Layla Ali situation, do you think there's a hater on any side or any like Jay Reed on any side? Because it seems like I look at Layla Ali as the GOAT, and in my opinion, I think she would have passed the crown to Clarissa. Well, Clarissa's kind of narcissistic, in my opinion, so she didn't allow that to happen. What do you think about that situation between Layla Ali and Clarissa?
Well, I mean, Layla has a legacy, because of her dad. And she also was a great fighter. Um, I don't understand the beef between them. Like, Clarissa's a new age of being very confident. I mean, if you've ever been to Detroit, I feel like all the women in Detroit sound like that. You know what I mean? Like they all very like vocally aggressive. Like you get into an Uber and you're gonna have a fight with your Uber, even though you paying them. So like Detroit's just like a different place. So like having gone to Detroit, I feel like all the women actually just kind of speak like that. So like
Mm.
Layla just doesn't know Clarissa, and I feel like if she got to know her instead of this like internet beef all the time, I think they might actually find like a common ground.
So I got a couple questions from the people if you still have time.
Sure.
Malcolm in New York City, he says, when you're not training, what's an activity you enjoy or form of active recovery? Best of luck in your upcoming fight with Shields in 2 weeks.
Um, I'm always like I never really leave the gym, but outside like for active recovery, there's a couple of things I do: cryo, infrared. I have compression boots at home. Also have like cold plunge and a jacuzzi at my house. So outside of training, I actually do relax. But I used to play my bass. I'm thinking about getting another one because another one I haven't played in a while. But I do need to actually start playing my bass again.
Nice. Bob Witt from Jackson, Michigan. Can we have a little insight into what the game plan is for fight night without giving up too much? Of course. Good luck, champ.
Oh, it's to win. I'm not telling you anything outside of that. I feel like everybody wants to know what the game plan is. I'm not telling anything, nothing until like, you'll see round 1 through 5 is definitely going to be a big shift. But yeah, no, I'm not giving away anything.
We got Mr. Benny Hinn that says, I've seen your amateur work and certainly thought you were on the way to the Olympics. How many amateur bouts did you have, and what has been the obstacle of getting opponents in your division?
Well, I don't know on my box rec. I don't remember how many fights, like 22 amateur fights, because I went from uh, club shows right to Team USA, and then I had all those Team USA fights, and then like some smokers. I'm not sure if those made it to the box rec, but um, biggest obstacle of getting fights or getting people to agree to it. Like we would send contracts out, and even early on, like trying to get people in the division to fight, the biggest pushback is that people don't train. So like unlike men where like, they stay in the gym and they stay almost like 3 weeks out for being able to like take a fight, women will just leave the gym and they just won't train at all, especially in the heavyweight division. Because like I always tell people, don't expect anything from boxing. If you don't love it, just leave it alone.
We got Treese in Toledo. He says, is the plan to fight for a knockout or box for a decision? And what's the hardest thing to cut from your diet during training camp?
Oh shoot, sugar. Sugar is the hardest thing to cut.
But
I love candy.
added sugar. Okay, candy. Yeah. I'm
I
huge.
love candy.
What kind of candy you eat? Like chocolate candy or just licorice candy?
Man, listen, I like gummies. I love like any kind of like a peach gummy or a strawberry gummy, like those pull and pill Twizzlers. I love jelly beans. I love candy. It's delicious. Also chips. I usually order like maybe $100 worth of Japanese snacks like a month. I miss that.
Them Japanese ruffles, them Japanese ruffles.
Man, they're delicious. Doritos, those Ghost Fire, Ghost Pepper Doritos. Oh my god, I miss those. Belly be on fire, but those are so good.
Now, how's
They
that
do.
work? Isn't that just more cardio though? Because that ultimately is calories burned, right?
Nah, you mean you want to have a look for weigh-in, so you don't want to look like you've been depleted or you sucked all the salt out of your body. You'll see sometimes people show up and like skin is sagging, your muscles don't look full. Like you don't want to look unhealthy going into like a weigh-in or feel like you've sucked everything out of your body. So I always make sure that I eat healthy, outside of like fooling around with the candy and the snacks.
Yeah, I'm addicted to M&Ms at the moment. Peanut M&Ms every night.
delicious. Great choice.
We got you in the 504 New Orleans. Why isn't women's boxing more relevant?
I mean, I feel like it's because there aren't that many too many elite fighters. That's number one. A lot of people can get put into situations where it's like, I don't know. I feel like most of the cards that people have are like build up cards versus there's like a real legit top 10 in weight classes. It could even some male weight classes be a top 30 of really good fighters that could have, upsets and like really great fights. I feel like in women's boxing, like we were all on Team USA at some point and all at different weight classes. So once you leave that, the pedigree is very different when you get out and you fight people who really do try hard. It's just they don't have the vision, the footwork, head movement, the ring IQ. So the separation between like the two fighters happens so quickly. Even when you have people ranked, you're like, oh, she's ranked number 7. Like when I went pro, I only fought undefeated fighters in the top 5, and you wouldn't be able to tell that I was, like an amateur just transitioning into pro. So it's just difficult to find like people who can fight back. Like good fighters are hard to find in the female divisions.
We got Trav FDY in Texas that says, is Shields too small for you? Are you going for the knockout?
Uh, Look, if the knockout, everything like looking for a knockout put you in a difficult position. I'm gonna go for the win. If the knockout presents itself, I'm definitely taking it. I'm not gonna step away from it because she's my friend. I'm gonna step into it actually.
Wow. What you mean she's your friend? This is actually good and interesting because we sit here and we preach to some of these other fighters like a Tank, and we say, give your fellow man that opportunity to make some money with you. She's giving you that opportunity, but now, I mean, by you saying she's your friend, this is really giving you an opportunity, kind of like the old days. So that's pretty official. How long have you guys been friends, and is it like a true friendship, or is it an amateur Olympic friendship? Like you guys were in the amateurs together, and you just are cool.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, I can literally reach out to Clarissa and have a conversation with her easily. She does respond to me. We've always been respectful to each other and respected what we've done in our careers. I mean, her career, of course, has been, of course, more substantial over time. But yeah, nah, we have a mutual respect for each other.
That's dope. That's dope. Now I understand why that yanking of the belt wasn't as aggressive as it could have been. And I didn't
It's not.
understand you like fixed her hair in another clip I seen. I'm like, what's going on? But now I get it. Now I get it. Y'all friends. So, but that's still good. Like I said, we don't see that enough with the men. You know. So I love that. You guys have a common, found a common ground and have a relationship, and we're still able to get in the ring and not affect the fight. We were asking that of Earl and Jermell. We wanted that fight at one point. It was all Tyson's fault, but we wanted it after he mentioned it. We got Spider Rico in Oregon that says, "Do you believe in the higher power and will you pray before you fight Clarissa? Quote unquote, she has never lost."
Same. I've never lost ever. But yeah, of course. I mean, we pray before every single fight.
Rally in Arizona, y'all know most people don't like fighting or think it's weird. You know what I'm saying? So what made you fall in love with fighting?
I don't know. I feel like there's every fighter has like this want to dominate people, right? You know what I'm saying? Like how tough is somebody standing in front of you and you like just kind of dominate them like in front of a crowd. It's a weird voyeurism kind of thing, but you want to beat the shit out of somebody and let people watch. It's something you get addicted to. It's something that you like. Also different ways. Like, you got to think about it. People spend hours every single day perfecting uh, punches to, like, inflict bodily harm. We don't think about it like that, but the whole idea is to be stronger every time that you enter the ring, and also like more dangerous. So I like that concept.
Do you think about when you beat Clarissa, you might get that magic call from Jake Paul, the godfather of promoting female boxing? Would that be something you would be interested in, joining the MVP promotion team?
Yeah, man, Jake Paul does a great job promoting women's boxing. I'd absolutely would join his team.
Champ, since you were an amateur, and I don't know if I asked you this before, obviously sponsored by Hardin. Did you ever spar my girl Shadeja Green? Cause she was started.
No, we only fought. No, we fought. We never sparred.
Oh, so we did have this conversation. Now that you said we fought, I remember her. I remember her texting me. Yeah. How are you shocked she was able to lose that much weight, or was she never really a heavyweight in your opinion?
Oh, well, I think a lot of people like to test the heavyweight because it seems like it's an easy division, and then at some point I show up and they're like, "What? This is not like the others. What is this?" So it's not as easy.
Nice. Got a few more and we'll get you out of here. It looks like Major from Virginia. Who are your top 3 current women fighters?
I like Alicia Baumgreiner. I think like she's an absolute beast in her weight class. Like Carolyn Dubois. I love the way that she fights. Also, I mean, they're all southpaws, and then of course myself. So that's me. Those are my top 3.
My co-host actually believes Baumgartner is avoiding a fight with Caroline Dubois. How do you see that fight playing out?
That actually would be a really good fight. 2 southpaws, body punchers. Like, I think that would be a really good fight.
What type of music you listen to? Like, if
listen
you
to
had to go
everything.
for a run right now, if after this interview is done, you just about to jump out the car, throw the headphones on, and start jogging or walking, what's that first song or playlist? What you got?
I'm not gonna lie, you might laugh at this, but I love to run to Renaissance. I can run through that whole album, no lie.
Renaissance.
Hey, Beyonce.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I don't know.
What is she talking about on that album? You know, I ain't never heard no whole Beyonce album.
What? Listen, if nothing else, you're gonna pick up on the cadence. I mean, the way that the album works is like it kind of has like it's a house beat, so that house music gets you into a good run. I'm also like just women empowerment in general. Like she's just pumping like positivity, and I like that. Sometimes but when we're in the gym warming up, I listen to Kendrick. So
Hey,
that's a different feel.
Well,
no,
since
no,
you
all
brought
the way up. No,
since
no
she brought
lean
up,
back.
since she brought up
Yeah.
Tampa. It's because Remy Mars ain't all the way up. Remember, they friends, Tone. They friends.
That's all good.
Oh man, Tone. They said Tone MZ in the chat. They got you as Tone MZ, not TMZ, but Tone MZ. I love it.
Hey, that's wild.
I got one more. Donald from Baton Rouge. Do you see yourself winning, or can you win by decision? I guess he meant to say, do you see yourself winning by KO, or can you win by unanimous decision?
Me, I'm just trying to win. it like not trying to win. My plan is to win. I'm gonna win this fight. So, however it comes, it comes. So, I unfortunately I never planned for the knockout, even though I've had several. Even in the amateurs, it's just like I never planned for the knockout. But if you come recklessly, I have to oblige. You know, I have to tap. So if it comes, it comes. If it comes flat footed with four flurries, it's what it is.
So
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
shoot it.
put you in an awkward position here. You got to imagine that you don't have this fight with Clarissa. What would be her pay-per-view fight that the boxing public would pay to see it?
If it wasn't me or her,
Yep.
I know people want to see the Hannah Gabriel fight because she got dropped. So like, I'm not sure. I don't like.
You
She really
think that's
hasn't had any
pay-per-view?
close
You think
fights,
that's
but that
pay-per-view
was one.
worthy?
I don't know because the Savannah Marshall fight wasn't close at all. So that was the only one I would think that people would want to see.
So here's my
Or if
suggestion,
she could fight.
and she
Mm,
blocked me for this, but now she loves this fight. Uh, I thought because now you know she's got a big chance of losing. You're a real heavyweight. Lepage was a heavyweight, but not active like you, and just a whole totally different style. But before this fight, I thought that the only pay-per-view fight men and women would pay for on a high level would have been the Bumgarner fight at 47, because she was willing to go to 47 for Cyborg, and you know Bumgarner was willing to move up to 47 for Clarissa. Now she only wants to do that fight at 54. What do you think about that fight? Knowing both of them, you're right. You're a fan of Bumgarner, and you know Clarissa. Can she even make 47? Was she just, you know, saying that because it was Cyborg, or do you like that fight at 47? Obviously, you
I
know you can't imagine that you
I
beat
don't
her.
think. Yeah, I can't see like Clarissa at 47.
Mm,
I can't see her making that. Especially like looking at her now, like I don't think she can make 47. I don't even know if she can make 54.
mm.
I feel like 68, maybe 65, but she spent too much time I think at this weight that I don't know if she's realized that she's not getting any younger. So the once she crosses over 30, which is going to be I think in April or March, that weight's not going to come off, you know, with a light jog and some salads. She's going to have to do something extra. So I don't know if she can make 54.
Speaking of making weight, we interviewed Franchon Cruz, and before O'Shea Jones won that belt, she said she's waiting for her to win that belt so she could go down and take it. Do you believe Franchon, who always fought at 68, can make 54? And how does that fight play out?
I don't know if Franchon wants O'Shea. Like I mean O'Shea's different.
So you
Yeah,
sparred
O'Shea's
her?
different.
Or you just saying from what you see?
O'Shea?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've sparred both of them.
Okay.
I've I've sparred Franchon and I've sparred with O'Shea. Me and O'Shea were on a team together for like 3 years. So I've had to step in and work with O'Shea on several occasions. And O'Shea can punch. And I imagine just over time, especially as she perfects her skills as a pro, and she keeps working, O'Shea's gonna get better.
Mm.
And she's a showman for sure. Like O'Shea putting on shows, she having a good time. She made the last former champion look like a joke. That she got the belt from. So I don't think O'Shea's gonna be slowing down. She's only picking up speed, and I think Franchon is looking for opportunities to have good fights. But I mean, she surprised the world when she beat Shadeja, but I don't know if O'Shea is like is a good don't be poking the bear. I don't think that that's a good idea.
You said she surprised the world. Did you also pick Shadeja Green over her?
No, it's just like, you know,
I
the
mean
thing about
before.
like production.
I don't mean after. I mean before.
No, before, I mean the thing about it is like I thought Franchon's used to the stage. Also, she's like very composed. A lot of the things that was Shadeja was saying and the way that she was like presenting seemed like very nervous energy. You know, having to prove her point. Like we're legacy, we're this, like talking down to Franchon, and I don't believe in that. I feel like, you know, we can have a good fight in the ring, but there's no reason to try to make somebody feel less than human in a fight. Like, there's no reason to talk to Franchon like that. Franchon is actually a really good person who supports a lot of people. I know I'm not really presenting my case real well, but Franchon's a very good person.
Well, they had some
But
personal beef that date back to the amateurs. There was a whole
man,
spit.
that shit's weak. That's weak. That's weak. That's weak. That's 7 years ago. Let it go. That's weak.
I hear you. That's
Nobody
mature.
knew about it. Yeah, nah. You getting paid. You getting paid well. They putting on this show for you, and you show out, and you come and talk all that shit to step on the stage and not throw no punches.
That's
Nah,
weak.
not okay.
That's weak.
That's
So you
weak.
not you not freezing up under these lights, because that's what happened to her. We interviewed her and she said, you know, look, I wasn't ready to fight on a Jake Paul card. She said when she came out, it was over 20-something thousand people, and they wasn't the main
So,
event, and it
so,
definitely played a part.
but when you step in the ring, there's only two people. That's it.
Ain't
All
nobody
those
in the
people
gym
don't
with
matter.
you.
You know what I mean? You knew
Ain't
what it
nobody
was
in
when
the
you signed
gym
up for
with
the
you to
card.
be
You knew this was a
training.
huge card.
Troy, your mic not connected. What you were saying, Danielle? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like, you know, the same thing happened at Worlds. You know, when she fought this one girl who was a former world champion, didn't throw a single punch.
Mm.
So you out here losing to somebody that essentially as slow as a funeral, short, overweight, an easy win to championship, to a gold medal. But because the other people are there, you can't throw punches and you end up with a silver medal. That's not Jake Paul. That's you need to see a therapist about your performance anxiety.
Mm. Do you think that she's gonna be able to get out of that? And did you have her win in her last fight where she won the world title versus Melinda
Well,
Watley?
the thing is, the last fight. I think she's working through it, honestly. Because there were a lot of people at the last fight, but also like I feel like there's more in there that people aren't seeing
Does she defend it and
at
keep
all.
it, or do you think she loses in that first title defense, loses the belt?
It depends on who she fights. Because what if Franchon wants back in and wants to take a fight again? Because she can. I mean, that's a fight to get. There's a lot of money. It's Jake Paul. There's a lot of exposure. Like, why go after Franchon? I mean, after O'Shea when you can fight Shadeja again and make a couple hundred.
For sure. Well, that is all my questions. I want to thank you obviously for jumping on. Wish you the best of luck. We're gonna be
Thank
tuned
you.
in.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
There you have it, ladies and
Salute.
gentlemen.
Peace.
Danielle Perkins live on the show. Troy, want to give me a mic check? See if